I wanted to quickly share. World Economic Forum had produced a skills map. Have you seen that?
No.
I'll just put it on my screen. I just like searched, so some Christopher's LinkedIn page came in, so I'm just sharing it here. Um, so do you see this?
Can you zoom in a bit?
Yeah. So core skills for 2030. Uh, core skills
Mhm.
for 2030 is AI and big data, technological literacy, creative thinking, curiosity and lifelong learning, talent management, systems thinking, empathy, leadership and social influence, analytical thinking, resilience and flexibility and agility, technological literacy. Does it make sense to you?
It does. It does, and
And when you see here, programming is out of focus skills already 2030.
yeah,
Marketing media is out of focus. Teaching and mentoring, quality control. This makes sense. Reading, writing, mathematics, dependability and attention to detail. Wow.
yeah.
It's already, does it make sense? I mean, like with the work that is happening right now, this sort of does make sense to me. I don't know about you. The especially the core skills.
No, they do make sense. But like I don't know. Um, I was talking to a friend today,
Yeah.
a coworker,
Yeah.
uh, uh, and we just talked about like all you need is obsession, right?
No, I think like the other things, like obsession, yes. The other thing is, I think, really systems thinking and processes. Because I think you mentioning this thing, what Kailash Dai also mentioned in one of the discussions, the process. Because I think if there is no systems thinking, I think a lot of this won't work. Let's even workflow, right? It is systems thinking, right?
Mhm.
I think that is
So how do you teach systems thinking?
yeah, and I think that is probably something that needs to happen in the AI clubs in schools, and not naming the computer lab as AI center or whatever.
Yeah,
How
I
how
think
do you learn workflow engineering?
how do you learn workflow
What do
engineering?
you think?
Hmm.
I mean, like let's say I'm college XYZ watching
Yeah,
watching this right now, and then I need
yeah.
to understand. Okay, workflow engineering, big potential, all of that, but how do I teach my students?
I think it starts with again tools. Is like because like for example, tool like N10, right? You solve any significant problem with N10, you've automatically wired your brain into thinking in terms of workflow because one thing has to send the take an input, send the output to another node,
Yeah.
then there might be branching and all of that. So I think teach N10 and you've all automatically taught workflows from a purely academic point of view. From a purely academic point of view, people use AI as a blanket term, but and then AI, when they speak of AI, mean LLMs mostly. But let's not even talk about the whole world outside of LLMs.
Yeah.
That is the broader AI.
Yeah.
But in general, in common parlance, when someone says AI, they usually mean LLMs.
Yeah.
But even within LLMs, all right, like LLM can be okay, Chat GPT and all of that, like this conversational
Mm.
space where you can Q&A format, right?
Yeah.
So almost like answer engines. But then once you start talking about enterprise AI or AI implementation in enterprise, then or LLM, let's just say LLM
Yeah.
in the enterprise, then it becomes a question of are you building a bot, are you building an assistant, are you building an agent, are you
Mhm.
building AI coworker, and what like kind of the quadrant, right? What makes an agent and
Yeah.
not a automation.
Yeah.
So I think people are completely mixing things up. Is what's a bot, what's
Mhm.
an assistant, what's an automation, what's not everything is AI in the same way.
No, it is not.
And I
Yeah.
yeah, and then I saw huge confusion, right? We saw where like we wanted to build AI coworkers, but people internally started building AI bots or AI automations and calling that AI.
Yeah,
co-workers.
yeah,
So I think this kind of confusion really needs to be cleared out,
yeah.
because um, if the language internally is not right, if everything is an AI, it's not the right way to think of things, I feel like.
I mean, like AI coworker is, in my sense, in my sense, is a formalization of an agent that does specific tasks, right? Uh, because when, like, the thing that we're building right now, so it does a very specific kind of work. It has a workflow that needs to get executed for that work to be done. There are multiple pieces of people it needs to go and talk to. It needs to go and talk to on chat for that work to be done, right? And then it brings out an output. So it almost works like a fellow co-worker would work, but then it is messaging us on our Slack channels or Teams, depending on what messaging that we use, right? So I see a very minor difference, but then it is just a personification of an agent in my brain. One of the biggest things that I see as a trend is that, and it's in every organization. When we think about AI agents or AI co-workers, we see as an extended arm of what we want to do as a individual. And I think the biggest challenge everyone is going to have is, how do I first remove myself from that operational workflow, and then see how does this work happen. And once I see how does this work happen, then I knit together and then see where I need to be involved, where I probably is a better idea for me not to be involved, because we are at a time where the foundation models are getting better, and then are getting better at reasoning. So right now already, and then even in the future, there is going to be uh, incrementally a time where human reasoning versus LLM reasoning, which is better, is debatable in today's time already, right? Especially in the workforce. So I think that's one of the biggest blocks that I see, people not being able to like remove themselves off the uh, of the workflow itself, and then see it very independently. I think the other thing that I think that probably the distinction between agentic AI agent and then coworker would also be the orchestration, right? The Right now AI agent has to be totally autonomous, and I think the definition from Anthropic really helped that as well. That it has to be autonomous, it has to run its own. An AI co-worker is really orchestrating that bit. So I think the how to orchestrate a business process, that is
Mhm.
something that needs to be taught as well to students, so that they can really learn. And the other thing is that there is huge potential for all of this right now. If we, like, I was going through Twitter, like everyone is talking about this. I saw a video, Mark Cuban is talking about it, everyone is talking about it. So much of money and time and resources of top leadership, especially in legacy organization, is being wasted to think of AI as a broader umbrella, on where they are thinking, okay, AI, I need GPU. Why do you need? Yes, obviously you need GPU for AI implementation. But why do you need that for the work we are doing right now? Do you think we need GPU for the work we are doing right now?
No, no, not at all. And then we might have spent some money on kind of the Slack, Notion, and a 10 setup.
But then that is not GPU kind of money, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's very little money actually. I mean, it's a lot of money for most organizations. Like for a company that has to make money from Nepal,
Yeah,
I think that would be a lot of money, and I wouldn't recommend every company to go move to Slack and Notion. Yeah, not every organization is going to be able to afford the Slack business plan, which has the AI and Notion, and this setup.
yeah,
But for any organization that's making money in dollars, and those are the organizations that are going to be most affected by AI, right? In a way,
yeah,
is like, because those organizations are playing on a global marketplace, and they are going to be deeply affected, especially tech outsourcing companies. I think they are going to be deeply affected. So again, I keep on going back to that $100 per month per employee number,
yeah,
right? If you're not like if you're totally confused about where to start your AI transformation, just think about I have to spend $100 per employee per month on AI. That's a
Mm,
great starting point. And what's like that's my kind of cart size or cart budget. And then what are the tools that my team needs? Probably if it's a deeply technical team, it needs, I mean, that's doing a lot of coding, it needs Cursor or something, a GitHub Copilot or something like that. If it is a and what are the teams? What are the tools that my entire team needs? What are the certain tools that only certain departments need? Right. So just having that holistic budget of, I need to, if I don't invest this money today, I'm going to be in deep shit very soon.
mhm. No, and there is the other side as well, right? Because we have people, and then it is obviously about equipping people with AI tools, which almost is non negotiable. But it is also working on the workflows. It is also working on building systems that can make the company AI native. Like, because like one of the conversations that I have with a lot of organizations that we work with is that, okay, now you gave Chat GPT to all your employees, you gave some XYZ AI tool to all your employees, right? What is happening to your knowledge base? Everything they're talking to the ChatGPT, everything that they're talking to those AI tools, where are you going and storing all of that information? And if you have to really see what is happening in the organization with the AI tools in an integrated manner, there is no answer to for most of the organizations, right? And you can actually start here, and the AI transformation or AI adoption does not really need to start from, like GPU and stuff like that. It can start from what is my business logic? Where do I need to implement it? How do I need to engineer it? Right. So if people, and especially larger organizations that have massive human resource crunch, it is it is one of the biggest opportunities for them in today's time, where they can actually build a lot of these kind of systems that can actually enable uh, a lot of human efficiency as well, but then also organizational efficiency, and then the calculation of every employee, and then multiplying them by the amount of money that we need to spend on AI tools. That completely changes, because now you are sort of rethinking how the organization needs to be shaped, what are the kind of integrations that we need to do, right? Then suddenly maybe there is a 50 people team that just becomes super crazy powerful, with all of these things moving and all of these things deeply integrated. We don't need larger infrastructures to do this, but we definitely need the right engineering talent to be able to do this, which I think I'm at a point where I can really say that you need the right engineering talent. Without the right engineering talent, it is not going to happen, and it's not obvious for anyone who is coming from a software engineering background to really understand what this really means. Some people it just clicks. For some people it takes a lot of time, right? So for organizations to really identify who are these people who can think in workflows, who can enable breaking down of business logics, put it down, stitch it together, and then use foundational models, use business SOPs to actually make all of this, orchestrate all of this. I think those people need to be found in every organization, need to be nurtured, need to be protected, or like anything that organization can do for them right now, they should be doing it, because that's a very, very scarce resource.
And that's something we are seeing as well, right? Like, obviously, most people who can kind of break down a problem into pieces, and kind of start, first break it down, then do the bottom up building, like they are great coders, and the same people would be great at as workflow engineers. But we are also seeing lots of exceptions inside programmers, where some brilliant coders who are just not able to become good workflow engineers, and some people who are not the most brilliant coders in the team, they are just able to absorb the idea of workflow engineering, and just put it to work.